Ontology is the study of being. So I work with my clients not only on the front-facing goals and tangible things they want to create, but who we're being as humans while we create them.
Say that again for me.
So ontology is the study of being.
Okay.
So I work with my clients on the tangible goals that they have, like the money that they want to make, the clients they want to have. But behind the scenes, the way that I'm doing that is by supporting them in the human that they're being to create those goals, instead of just the strategies that they're using.
Yeah, you're perfect for here, so that's awesome. All right, today we are sitting down with Kaela Gedda. She's an ontological life coach here in Northeast Wisconsin. Through her coaching business, Kaela works with business owners and entrepreneurs to co-create a powerful shift in their life, producing sustainable results. Kaela is a self-described possibilitarian, and she helps countless leaders discover their potential in their career, relationships, well-being, finance, and health. We are excited to hear from Kaela today as we talk about what a healthy mindset looks like and how to shift your mindset and daily habits to set yourself up for success. So,
awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here.
Of course.
So I guess first tell us a little bit about your coaching program and what you do.
Okay, so I have an independent practice, though that's pretty much on a wait list. So the way that I support most of my clients is through a company called Rise Leadership Circle, and I co-own that with my mom, who's also a coach, which is really fun, keeping it in the family. And the way that we support our clients is by supporting them to connect with their worth as a human being and really connect with who I am that is so powerful and can create results. And then from there, so that's the inner work that we do. And then from there, we look at how do we create strategies to take our worthiness, the powerful person that we are, to bring it out in the world and make our businesses happen, grow our clients, grow our bank accounts, and make a difference in the world.
So you're growing people, you're helping them receive get the results they want from their business, but also who they're becoming, what they're working on, why they're doing it. Is that?
Yeah, the results that our clients have in their business are a symptom of the life that they're living and who they're being.
Oh, very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. So what got you into coaching? What got you into helping? Like, you're obviously very passionate about it. So what got you there?
So as I mentioned, my mom is a coach. When I was graduating college, she was going through a coaching program, and she was like, "Kaela, this is your gig. Like, you've got to do this." And I was like, "Okay, but let me just like graduate college and get out in the real world." And life was fine. I was like happy. I was working corporate America. It was fine. But I knew that there was a way that I could make a much bigger impact. And so long story short, I decided to jump into a coaching program, and quickly I realized that's where I needed to be. I quit my job in 7 months after starting my program, and the rest is history.
So you became a student first, and then you said, I'm gonna coach.
So first I enrolled in a coaching program and started getting coaching myself. So I was the coachee, and realized how fast of a transformation I was having in my life. And I thought, okay, if this is really working for me, I could do this for other people too.
Sure. Awesome. What are some common things that you see in business owners or in people, like common stumbling blocks or things that you think hold people back? Like what's a common theme?
The most common one is subconscious. People don't usually say this right out, but once we're coaching, we realize that what really comes up the most often is someone feeling that they're not worthy enough to have it. They feel like, who am I to have this many clients or make this much money? I don't really deserve this. I should just be happy with what I have. But that thinking really can hold us back.
Yeah, it's like that internal thermostat. When you start succeeding at a certain level, you turn the air conditioner on yourself and you start bringing yourself down.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
I'm pretty sure I learned that from Tony Robbins, but just so you know.
Awesome.
But yeah, it was really good in my transformation with my businesses, because that was the one thing I noticed that I was doing was I started saying some of those things, those self-doubts, and you start sabotaging yourself, and you don't want to do that, right?
Totally.
You want to help people. So you help people get through those.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how about somebody like, do you ever coach anybody getting started in a business or anything like that?
Yeah, one of our programs is for people who are just getting started, or they've been doing it for a little while and they feel like they're just throwing spaghetti at the wall. Okay. And so there we just really start from the ground up. It's the foundations. The program is called Core, and so we look at what are the foundations that we really need to be successful. And I'll share with you, we use what we call the Divine Profit Formula, which is just 2 parts. It's energetic alignment plus inspired action. Okay. And so that's the work we consistently do with our clients is energetically aligning with our goals, and then taking inspired action to make it happen.
Very cool. Do you do anything, so I'm assuming you help them with habits, like their daily habits, or so it sounds like you help align where they want to go, and then you help them do breakthroughs and mindset training to help take them there. Is that
exactly.
Correct? Is that it?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Awesome. So a lot of our people watching this are in real estate. Real estate is very, it's kind of tough to get into. There's a high failure rate. The people that get into it and succeed in it, they typically stick in it for a while, and they're business owners.
Yeah.
Right. I guess what advice would you have for people that run their own businesses, or maybe people that are thinking about getting coaching, or maybe people that know that they are limiting themselves on some front? Is there any advice you'd have for people like that, where they're just you think they're probably limiting themselves? Most of our agents, let me see if I can dial it in a little more for you. Most of our agents will do production, and then what we typically see is it kind of just arcs out a little bit, and they just start at a certain level. Like, what's it somebody who's producing at a good rate, but then they start arcing out, like they just kind of like stay there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Totally,
like
yeah.
a ceiling almost.
So what I would say is that vision is everything, and as entrepreneurs, as leaders, as anyone who's producing anything, it's important that we're being guided by our vision instead of our circumstances.
Sure.
So if someone is consistently growing and then they start to kind of arc out, what probably happened is they hit the initial vision that they had, and then it's like, well, now this is where I'm at. And so we get to keep holding a really high vision for ourselves that allows us to keep growing. And someone who's just getting started might feel like, how can I really have a vision because my circumstances are this? Like, I can't produce at that high because this is what I know, or these are my circumstances are, and that just takes us out of the game.
Sure.
So we get to choose to really be led by our vision instead.
Gotcha. So if somebody's starting to their production just starting to arc, they're starting to hit that ceiling. You're saying is put that vision out in front of it, up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And then that'll pull you through.
Yeah, let's expand our vision. It's
Sure.
like celebrate what you've already been at. Another thing that I see is that people feel like, well, I hit this initial goal, but it's not good enough.
Okay.
So it's not about saying that what I have already created isn't good enough, but this is amazing, I'm going to celebrate it, and now I'm going to expand my vision
Sure.
and see who else I can impact, what else I can create.
Sure. Awesome. What's something you find yourself saying to coach or to people you're coaching a lot? Is there something that you typically you feel like you say a lot to help them?
Yes.
Okay.
The number one thing that I say is you are worthy.
Okay.
You are worthy of this goal, of this vision, of this client, of this sale, whatever it is.
Sure.
We don't have to let ourselves think that we're not enough to do it.
Sure, that we can't handle it, or that's too big of a listing, or it's too big of a deal for me to handle, and then you help them through that by positive
Or
affirmations.
I'm not experienced enough.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. All right. So tell me a little bit about how you help your coaches, your clients, or people that you're working with lead generation, and get them into lead generation, focused on lead generation. How about that?
Okay, so we really take an approach that it's all about serving rather than selling.
Okay.
Selling is really the transaction. Selling is the moment that the money has exchanged hands and now someone has the house and the money's there. But far before we get to the sale, what we want to do is be serving people. And so lead generation is really just us collectively looking at, who do I really want to make an impact for?
Right.
Who do I want to serve? Whose life do I want to make better
Right.
by getting them into the house of their dreams?
Right. Awesome. Very good. What objections do you see people putting in front of their success, or what hurdles do you see them constantly kind of throwing out there? The worthy one we've talked about. Is there anything else that you see that people kind of stumble themselves on?
The biggest one is money.
Money.
Feeling like I really want to advance my career, or just like whatever things they want to do in life, and feeling like, but I don't have the money to that's it. They can see like, once I do these things, then I will, but from right here where I am is that I don't have the money right now.
Okay. So so they see where they want to go, but then they is it almost an excuse? They blame it on the money? Is that what I'm hearing?
Basically, and it's like, I believe that the reality of their checking account is like, I don't have the dollars in here, but what I know as a coach is that what really it comes down to is, do I trust myself enough to create the money? Like,
sure.
Yes, the money's not there right now,
Yeah.
and if I want to invest in myself and take my career and anything forward, do I trust myself that I can say yes and then go out there and create the money
Sure.
for the things that I want in my life?
Sure. How about like daily routines? Do you coach anybody? You're kind of like a well-rounded coaching program. Like, you coach to the being, or like to the person.
Yep.
And everything in and around them. So maybe step outside of the career or the business. What else do you coach to with that?
Self-care is is the foundation of everything. We have a program that we call Wealth Rituals, and we just go through and look at what are all the rituals that we need to have in our life, or habits that we need to have in our life that would allow us to be the human that we are, to show up for our business. And so I think that self-care and self-love is one of the biggest practices, that we're filling our own cup up first. That we start our day not just grabbing the phone and looking at who's emailed me, who do I need to get back to, but making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, so that when we show up to serve that person, we're coming with a full cup and we can really pour into them from an overflow.
Oh, that's great. So you talk about like some type of exercise habit in the morning, reading, affirmation.
Absolutely. Yeah, every person's practice can be individualized, but I think it's definitely something for our physical well-being, something for our mental well-being, something for our spiritual well-being, whatever that looks like for every person. But that we have routines around that, especially in the morning and throughout the day.
Okay. You're a very positive person. Like, that's very apparent. How do you stay positive? How do you mental, like, are there things that you personally do to constantly stay positive, to pour out that energy?
Yeah, I'm really intentional about what's coming into my space. The food that I'm eating, the music that I'm listening to, the podcast that I'm listening to, the books that I'm reading, everything that's coming into my space is intentionally curated, that I know will put me in an energetic mindset that's going to make a difference, not take me out of the game.
Sure. Awesome. Do you help people with like their businesses as well with that? So like if they say like I want to go to here with my business, do you help them align the same routines, going like, okay, well, you should probably listen to this podcast, you should probably do similar things like that?
That's the very intention of Wealth Rituals and the work that we do with our clients, is let's develop a curated program for you personally, so that you're setting yourself up to win every single day to hit that big goal that you want.
Yeah, that's great, because it's like the biggest thing I see sometimes with entrepreneurs is we sometimes will go, oh, this is great, and then we go over here and this is great, and then we go over here and this is great, and so we're reading on 3 different topics, or we're listening to 3 different podcasts, and we're never really mastering any one of them. We're like almost information overload sometimes.
I truly think that the reason that I'm so successful is because I'm committed to the really simple things that a lot of other people just make an excuse around. Like, I'm really committed to eating a clean diet of food that energizes me and fuels me. And I hear a lot of people, like my clients, like, I just only have time for drive-through. And I'm like, okay, and let's just be clear that that's a choice that you're making. It's a simple choice, and you could be committed to the thing that will get you there, and you're choosing out.
Yeah, right, absolutely. Very good. Yeah. All those little, like all the little things add up to a lot of big things.
Totally.
So a lot of the small pieces actually make a much bigger result.
Yeah, I mean, we can't have a superstar body eating McDonald's, and we can't have a superstar business listening to things that take us out.
Sure. Yeah, they're not in alignment with where you're going.
Absolutely.
Sure. Okay. What about with these entrepreneurs and things like that? What is something that you see that helps snap somebody out of that, like going and eating McDonald's, or is it just awareness? Like just you bringing it up sometimes, a lot of times will help them, or?
Awareness for sure. Just remembering that we actually are empowered choice makers, and in any moment we can choose, and sometimes we make a choice that doesn't really serve us, and we can just choose again. We don't have to beat ourselves up. So knowing that we have a choice, and that we're not actually like our circumstances don't actually dictate our life, though it sometimes feels like it, that's not really how it is.
Sure, absolutely. A lot of times too is that like when I'm coaching with people or talking with people, I'll say every decision that you make, whatever decision it is, it either brings you closer to where you want to go or to farther away. There's really no gray.
Totally.
No matter what you're doing, like when you leave for work today, and what you listen to in the car is going to take you closer to where you're trying to go, or it's going to take you farther away.
Absolutely. And doing nothing still takes you farther away.
Yeah, exactly. There's no in between.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, and so I think you coached that. That's awesome. All right, best leadership advice that you've ever been given?
I think the best piece of advice that I've gotten and that I continue to give my clients is just show up. If you are showing up, that is half the game, because once you show up, magic can happen.
Yeah.
But it takes you actually being there. It takes you being willing to actually make the invitation, make the ask, show up on the phone call, show up for the meeting in order for the results to happen.
100%. That's great, especially for our audience too. A lot of them are agents, and they get their own schedule. But like just showing up and getting into some of that activity goes a long way. That's like my first advice for people when they join our organization is they're like, how do I get started in real estate? Is like, just get here, get to the office. Just sit down. Like, I don't care if you don't do anything. Just listen to the top producers around you, and it helps lift them up. Business advice, or actually, let's go money advice. Like, what's a money advice thing that you like, a tip or trick or something that you've learned that you really like?
Invest in yourself before your bank account is ready.
Okay.
Meaning, I don't mean like go into debt, but believe in yourself that you will create the money. If we wait until we have all the money in our bank account, it's probably too late. We already know the thing. We've already done it.
Sure.
So make the commitment to invest in yourself and then go and create it, because that's how we grow in attention.
Oh, that's cool. That's super cool. Fitness tip. What's your favorite fitness tip?
I think that's the same thing. Show up. Just
Show
like
up.
put the workout gear and show up.
Sure.
Even if you think like, okay, I'm just gonna be here, like I'm just gonna sit in my yoga mat today, or I'm just gonna walk instead of run.
Yeah.
Once you get outside, you will start to do the thing.
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, what would you recommend for people who are maybe stuck in their career, or they're stuck in a certain mindset and they feel like they can't get out? They're kind of just kind of showing up each day, and they're really not getting to the next level that they want to be.
Okay, so this advice might seem kind of backward, but I think that it's powerful because it works. I would recommend going all the way in it, like bankrupt the mindset. So if you're feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm never gonna hit this, I'm broke, I'm whatever, or like I'm maxed out, like I've hit 250K and this is as high as it's gonna get from me, go ahead and just lean all the way into that. Have the pity party, squeeze all the juice out of the feelings, because once you get to the bottom, then you're like, well, there's nothing left for me to feel like this. So then you will actually start to shift and get out of that mindset, rather than spending all your energy trying.
Sure.
Just lean in and then change.
Okay. So go all the way in with it, and then you go, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
And then it'll force it out.
Totally.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for today. Is there anything else, any parts of wisdom you'd like to leave us with, or anything that maybe we didn't cover yet?
I think the last thing that I would say is it's really important to remember that whatever we're doing is what we're meant to be doing right now. Sure. And that, sure, our path could change later on, but right now we're meant to be here. And so we have the opportunity to really make the best of it and make a big impact for someone else.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for your time today. We've really enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here.
Of course.